So our drill press, we have two drill presses. Drill press is for making holes. This is the chuck key, drill bit, power switches, and the feed lever. We have a table, and this is a sacrificial board. The chuck key loosens or tightens the chuck. Select the drill bit that you need. Adjust the chuck, and then tighten it up. First safety rule on here is no loose clothing. You can have a spinning bit and chuck right here. You have any loose hair, any loose clothing, long sleeves, necklaces, lanyards, anything, get caught on here, twist up, it's going to pull you in. If your hair gets caught on here, it'll yank your hair out. And not just your hair, your whole scalp. Put a big hole in your head. I won't tell you how the doctors replace it, but I think you can figure it out. Okay. Pretty nasty. As the tool comes down into your wood, the sacrificial piece backs it up and makes sure that it's supported so it doesn't tear out. Tear out is dangerous because the wood wants to get stuck on the drill bit and then start spinning. Another safety rule, the chuck key. When you're done tightening up the chuck, remove the chuck key. If you leave it in, turn the tool on, it's going to fly out. It's going to fly out at a terrific speed. Most of you, it'll hit you in the chest. It's going to hurt. If it rips into you, you've got your heart here, you got your lungs. It's dangerous, real dangerous. So make sure you remove the chuck key before you turn on the tool. In this tool, we put a plexiglass cover over the start switch so that we can use the chuck key to turn it on. If the chuck key is up here, it's obviously not still in the chuck, it's safe. My rule is you keep your hands up, one hand on the start and stop switch, one hand on the feed lever. That keeps you safe. When you start it, you can keep the chuck key in your hand. You have your thumb on the stop switch. If something goes wrong, what do?
Stop it.
You stop the machine without endangering yourself. If something's spinning here, and you don't want to reach over and stop it, you can stop it at the emergency shutoff switch. But the most important thing is we got to turn it off as soon as possible without endangering yourself. Get it turned off. That's why I like you to keep your hands up here. If something goes wrong, hit it and step away. What's this?
Clamp.
Clamp. Wooden hand screw clamp. It's the only type of clamp right now that we use on the drill press. Our new drill presses may have integrated clamps. That means clamps built into the table. It's nice. Right now, though, we use the wooden hand screw clamp. It goes from the metal table all the way up to your workpiece and clamps it on. If I'm going to put a hole in this piece of wood here, I mark where the hole is supposed to be, clamp it down. We can slide this back a little further. You clamp it down, and I want to feel under the table and make sure that the clamp is touching metal that's flat. There's a lot of different ridges and other things underneath here. You need to make sure the clamp has a good grip, and the clamp needs to be angled so that the pressure is on the tips. If the pressure is back on this side of the jaws, your piece is going to come loose. You've got to angle the clamps so that the pressure is on the tips. That gives you the correct amount of pressure in the right spot. Right now this is clamped on. The workpiece is solid, the table solid. The whole tool moves a little instead of the piece. You've got good pressure. Now my hands can stay out of the way and I can make the hole. Using the chuck key to start it. I can feel it trying to break through. Ease up on the feed pressure so that it breaks through smoothly. That's the place where it usually wants to grab and start turning the piece. So on the safety test, it's going to remind you of this. It gives you a question about it. When the drill begins to break through your work, what do? Ease up on the feed pressure. Ease up on the feed pressure. It can transition to the next piece smoothly and you don't get a big ripped out hole in the bottom. This is the piece that I cut this morning. I was demonstrating this to the Wood 1 class. This is the back of the hole. There's the entry point. This is the back of an unsupported piece with no sacrificial board. Unsupported. And this is the one we did yesterday in this class. Unsupported. Tears it out, and then the drill, the wings of the drill bit want to catch on here, and the whole piece will start to spin if it comes loose of the clamp, if you didn't clamp it right. So make sure that you support it and ease up on the feed pressure when you break through.